Welcome to the Union Football Coaches Show. The regular season is in the books. Rick Corey along with Kirk Frederick, the head coach of the Union Redskins. Nice win. Anytime you go down the turnpike, you've got to travel. It's a nice win, and this one kind of even started pretty quickly.
It was great weather, and for us, we talked about the travel, and it felt like a short trip just having to go to Edmond instead of Moore or Norman or some of those. But our kids traveled well. Of course, we had a good following with people. Our Booster Club set our kids up with a good meal ahead of time, and so all in all, it was a good trip. Our kids came out healthy, and I thought we performed really well. Again, very proud of our defense for a couple weeks in a row.
And certainly you want to win the game, and you did. But in many cases, it's not as much about that as it is about making sure that how you win the game rather than just winning the game. Were you satisfied with that?
We were. We talk a lot about getting off the bus. I think that that's one of the big things that's crucial with a good team is how do you get off the bus? Are you prepared? Do you travel well? Do you get dressed? Are you in pregame? Are you sluggish? How do you handle that? And I was very proud of how our kids in that type of environment were prepared to play, and I thought they did well.
As a matter of fact, you take a look at some of the stats right here, you're going to see just how prepared they were, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Well, on both sides of the ball, but anytime, Kirk, you look at total yards for another team at 122, that's nasty.
Well, the guys up front did a really nice job. I thought that the defensive front, the defensive line played really well. Those guys disruptive, and what we thought was a pretty good offensive line with Edmond North, and our guys took on that challenge and played well against the run. Passing yards, again, secondary-wise, just all in all, our kids played well. We always have a big goal of trying to get some 3-and-outs, and I think we'd met that goal by the first half. So our defense was kind of feeling it and understood if they could help our offense out with field position, they would definitely do that. And again, very proud of them. And then likewise, I was proud of our offensive stats. 376 yards rushing, and hidden in that was 100 and so yards from Tyler, and he was able to break that record for career rushing yards that Jeremy Smith had. So very proud of Tyler and all those guys that blocked for him. And then I think 3 touchdowns put him over the mark for rushing touchdowns. So congratulations to Tyler for doing that, and to be determined, I guess, on how many more yards he gets. I guess he breaks it every week now. So, but those guys up front were real proud of him. Our team was excited about that as well.
And that came with Edmond really doing everything they could to try to take him away. He had 100 plus, but it wasn't 100 plus easy. There's no question.
No, it was one of those nights where they're going to force you to try to throw the ball, try to stop the run. And early on, we had to make a couple of adjustments, but that offensive line, we were still able to use some misdirection and create some running lanes for Tyler, and had some big plays in the passing game as well.
And the one thing you want to clean up, 13 penalties, obviously, you never like that. And you guys that come into this had been really good about that. And this was just a night when suddenly I think they had to go get some extra cloth. They were throwing those things left and right.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was one of those things in that first quarter is it seemed like we couldn't ever get the game started because there were so many penalties being thrown. And the things that bother me the most probably are special teams penalties because they have such an impact on the game. And so we've got to clean those things up. We'll specifically address, hey, you're not going to play a game without penalties. We don't want to have the excessive ones, the dead ball penalties for sure. And then in special teams, you've got to be very careful not to block in the back, those kinds of things, because it's just so damaging to that unit.
As a matter of fact, you're going to see get to the highlights here coming up after the break. Several touchdowns called back by penalties. Get that worked on. We'll get to the first half highlights of Union and Edmond North coming up next on the Union Football Coaches Show.
No matter how you play, or work, or live, life sometimes throws you a curve. At Eastern Oklahoma Orthopedic Center, we help you get back to playing, working, and living your life. EOC, Tulsa's finest and most experienced provider of sports medicine care for over 30 years. Visit us at eoc.com.
What's so different about Arvest? Let's ask real customers.
I have the
free business checking account.
They seem interested in making sure that your business is successful.
I'm in here probably 3 to 4 days a week.
They've helped me with lines of credit when I needed extra money for capital.
We didn't have to even come to the bank. He came to the warehouse.
I've got tons of locations in the small towns where we end up building stuff at.
I didn't think it was, it could ever be done, but when I come down here, it was done.
Arvest Bank, our customers say it best.
Welcome back. This is the Union Football Coaches Show, along with the head coach of the Redskins, Kirk Frederick. I'm Rick Corey. Let's get right to the highlights. Here's first half. Union and Edmond North at Broncos Stadium. It's actually Wantland Stadium at the University of Central Oklahoma. Came right out of the TP hard, Coach.
That's right. I'm excited to have those guys there. That TP crew is always there with us, does a great job. Got the spirit groups there, and that's a really nice stadium to play in.
Really?
UCO's got a really nice facility there, and I think the Edmond schools are in the process of building some stadiums, so I'm not real sure that they'll continue to play high school games there in the next few years. So it'll be exciting to see what they can do. First series, they pin us deep. We don't get out of a hole there because of one of those special teams penalties, and so the defense has got to work hard. The ball on that end. They run a couple of Q counters, a couple of things early on. Darius and a Shamari there with nice play. Darius Thornton had a big game from the linebacker position. You see Bajek there, see the defensive line playing really tough and forces a punt. Come off our goal line there and just off the fingertips. Again, Brandon puts a ball right there for CJ, and it's very rare that he misses those. It's you're surprised that he didn't catch it the way he's caught so many.
Here's the one that really surprises you.
Yeah, there's one right there to AK. I'm sure he's thinking, oh man, he was thinking about that end zone is what he was doing. But so 2 series, we've got to figure them out. Edmond does a really nice job of stopping the run. Shamari comes up on the sweep play, makes a nice stop there. You see Kyrie Fisher. Kyrie has really played well the last couple of games. Real proud of him. Good pressure there by Lee Barnes. And again, good coverage down the field by Aaron Ugball.
You see Tyler getting yards here, but you also notice some early contact. They're doing a nice job.
Early contact, he just keeps his feet moving. They're plugging those inside gaps, so we're going to try to get the ball outside and up the middle and across the field and everything that AK does with it. But what a heck of a run by AK there and try to loosen him up. Tyler, big strong runner, again just gets those tough yards inside. Come back with Shamari, and there's just a change in pace and fresh legs after a tough deal, and Shamari does a really nice job. Knows what to do with the ball in his hand. He's such a great football player. Got a big block from Carlos Barrios from the outside, caves it down, and we're off to the races.
And then look at the acceleration. As soon as that one guy drops off of him, he just explodes.
Probably one of the fastest kids we have for 20, 30 yards without a doubt. Got a hole underneath. Darius steps in and makes a nice play with it. Defensive line with good pressure and really nice coverage as we go down the field. Love the way we're hip to hip with him down the field, and unfortunately, I guess we were a little bit too much with him there and got called and gives them an extra down. Good block inside. Look at Kellen Stouter. Kellen Stouter with the big pancake. Excited for Kellen. Matter of fact, this week is a finalist for the Wendy's High School Heisman. Really good athlete, 2-sport athlete, and great academic student. So excited for Kellen.
You see the big boys out in front again there.
Big guys up front there doing a nice job. Love seeing those screen plays because, I mean, look at those guys. Cutshaw getting out on the edge. You see Big Lopez there with a huge block on the screen. Of course, Tyler does a nice job in open field. Not one guy's going to bring him down. Get the stretch play. Really good job by David Warner on the outside. Does a nice job of getting the edge. Come back with a little play action there to AK. Of course, if you just give him a little bit of room, and there's a lot of speed in that sophomore.
He pulls away. He's so much stronger than people give him credit for, isn't he?
He just has a lot of burst. Great play call by them on a double pass coming right off the sideline. Set it up perfectly, and credit Edmond North for a nice play there.
Yeah, take a look at this one.
Io comes back. Right after that, you want to see the special teams unit respond. Io does a really nice job. Block it well. Look at the effort there by Patrick Fields coming down the field. Good job not blocking behind the back with Patrick there. And unfortunately, early in the play, we had one of those that really hurt us there.
So basically, I just ran a 100-yard sprint for the fun of it.
Yeah. Sure, he wasn't real happy about that one. There's Landon Wood, another sophomore. The quarterback does a really nice job of getting the ball out as they're kind of packing the box, so we'll just get it on the edge there with a little screen. Really nice block by Cameron McQueen. Cameron does an excellent job blocking on the edge, and Landon gets down the field.
You really saw the speed there.
We'll play action after a big play. Come right back, and AK and Brandon Birch, what a nice throw and catch. After a penalty, we've got to go back to work. You see, what I really like there is you see those big guys up front just trying to overcome penalties, trying to do the things. Let's just go back to work, and eventually it's all going to work out. Good attitude by the offense. See the guys coming in, Braden Spicer coming in, doing a really nice job at linebacker, made a really nice play. There's Aaron again tipping the ball away at corner. We get the ball right back. Short field for us, and so we're able to do a little play action with it and get CJ over the top. And he also runs hurdles, I guess, in the spring. I believe he does, and does a nice job there. Good athlete. Love the camera action here from the end zone coming right at you. Hurdle over the sign.
Didn't even touch it. That's a pretty good vertical right there.
Not real sure I could do that one.
Well, I'd have a hard diving over it.
Pin them deep, and right away, defensively, we got Corey Piercy in it. Corey's a guy that's been hurt for a couple of weeks, and excited to see Corey back in with pressure, and right off the fingertips there of Kyrie as he's able to bat the ball away, and then really nice job by coverage here on the outside by Trey. Outstanding camera work there with Corey on the pressure. Kind of repetitive right here, but you can see our offense in great field position. Again, Cameron McQueen, just off the fingertips there of a nice play to the outside. Get the ball to AK, pick up a few yards to get down into what we feel like was field goal range, and unfortunately we missed one there. But it definitely going into the next quarter, it gives Edmond North a long field to go.
Love how your offensive line's picking up their blitz too, and they're bringing it.
Doing a nice job with it. Good pressure underneath. They do a nice job of catching the hitch pass to the outside. Going to try to keep things from getting deep on us, and man, what a great play. Again, Aaron really played well from that corner position. Big block by Lopez to the outside. Love seeing this play. Great job by Tyler. Good vision going into the end zone, and I believe we have another penalty on this one.
Yeah, but you get to watch and see what great vision he does have as you watch that cutback.
Right after the point, you could see the coaches on the sideline say, hey, Tyler, it's all right, just go do it again, and he almost does. He gets it down there to about the 2 and then punches it in there. David Warner with a nice kickback block. Good pressure there by Tyler DeSmit. Nice job. We had two guys fighting over it, Trey and Io, both converge on it. It's always fun to see two guys fighting over the same ball.
I'm kind of on their heels here. You can see him throwing off his back leg.
Getting a lot of pressure on him there. I believe that was Asa Carter with the pressure, and Darius Thornton comes up with an interception. Mike linebacker getting back in his zone, does a nice job. Excited to see the defense playing so well in this first half.
Kind of made a little move too, didn't he?
He did. David Warner with the big catch off the boot play to the outside. Love seeing David gets the block so much and get him out in the passing routes. Got good hands and makes a nice catch for a first down. And then I believe you saw Tyler there breaking the record with a short 1-yard run.
I know you're trying to get David a shot to get in the end zone too, weren't you?
We sure were. Gonna want to give a guy credit for as much as he's done this year at that position. Defensive line doing a nice job underneath, and just the kind of pressure that the quarterback's under makes it really difficult. See AK there, good block on the edge by David, and the wide receivers, I believe Deontay Calvert, the nice block. There's Lopez again on that power play, and Shamari carrying the ball really well. Come back to sprint out play, good protection down the field. We see CJ goes up for the ball. Great angle here. You see CJ just snatch out of the air, get his foot down, pick up the first down.
He got his arms down to protect himself too. Did a nice job there.
Cut Shaw wrapping around there along with the other offensive line just doing an outstanding job. You can see those guys. Barrios caves it down again. Kellen Stouter, all those guys up front. Elwood Tomlin do a lot of good work underneath. The credit there, but outstanding job rushing the football.
So now up the long stairs and back to the locker room to talk it
stairs,
over.
that's
Now,
right.
we were talking in the broadcast booth about philosophy now. You're not worried about district points anymore because you know what it is. What was your philosophy at the halftime about how long to leave starters in?
Well, we wanted to establish the third quarter. We wanted to try to get some guys some playing time, but we also wanted to have an opportunity to set a tempo, and you just never know when you sub a defense how fast someone's going to score. And so you want to offensively try to keep half the guys in and try to keep moving the football so it takes some pressure off the defense. We find out that all our units that went in there executed really well in the second half.
Yeah, you're going to see some names that you don't normally hear from and watch them make some really good plays in the second half. We'll come back with that next. Second half Union and Edmond North of the Union Football Coaches Show.
So I work in production, and I help cover a lot of college football games. There's a ton of running and lots of travel all over the place. You might think I'd go with a mega bank for the convenience, but actually I just switched to TTCU. I could have signed up online, but I decided just to walk in, and I'm so glad I did. Just for opening a checking account, they gave me $50 and $50 to a local school. And now when I travel, it's like a little piece of home is always with me. It really is unbeatable.
Welcome back. It's the Union Football Coaches Show. I'm Rick Corey with Kirk Frederick, the head coach of the Redskins. We're at halftime of Union and Edmond North. Redskins are already up big. Let's take a look at the second half highlights and watch some of the guys you don't normally get to see make it even bigger.
Come back defensively. We want to pick up where we started, and so we've got our starters out there. Kyrie with a nice play. Look at Lee Barnes in there doing a good job. Lots of Redskins around there. Darius Thornton. Lots of that pocket is collapsing. I mean, it's collapsing quick with those guys up front doing a nice job. There's Lee. How about Devin Bajek coming off the edge? Devin does a nice job. All three guys really kind of collapse in the pocket, and Devin gets a nice sack. Come back with our starting offensive line, but a new tailback. And you've got Holmes in here. Courtney Holmes does a really nice job, junior tailback. We have several that kind of come here, but Courtney comes off to the races. Unfortunately, I guess we have a legal procedure on the play, and the play gets blown dead. But, man, you know, as a coordinator, you call that perfect setup, and that happens. That makes it tough.
I felt bad for Courtney as he jumped up and down out there.
Right there, you see Kyrie with another big play. Good pressure there by Corey Piercy. And, again, our guys there, you see Patrick Fields at corner, play some safety and corner, doing a nice job on coverage. There's Darius making a nice stop. You get R.J. Herron. Man, the guy runs the power play and the inside zone play so well. Really a downhill runner. Another junior in there. Does a really good job with it. Adonis Martin at quarterback. Great job of pulling the ball and faking even the cameras out. So he picks up a first down. Adonis came in, did an outstanding job executing our offense.
I really like how he throws on the run, and no hesitation. He makes a choice and goes with
it. Jared Nichols on the play on the boot, and you see Adonis come in, pulls the ball down, and starts scrambling, and then you're like, man, he's going to go all the way with this, and does a nice job of getting into the end zone. You can see Adonis here, good vision down the field, big block there by Jared, and crosses the goal line and gets a big score for our senior quarterback.
He wasn't looking to slide, was he?
Nope. Come back, they try a little handoff. This worked early in the game, and they mishandle it, and right away there, I believe that's Kevion down on the kickoff, pays to chase the ball all the way down the field. Kevion comes up with a nice fumble recovery. And, of course, Kevion go right back in at running back. You recover the fumble, we'll let you score. And Kevion goes in for the touchdown.
And there's a teachable moment there. You drop a ball like that, just fall on it.
That's right. Exactly right. See Walker Rosenbaum, man, what a great individual effort by a defensive lineman, senior. Got cut on the play, hops up, gets down the line of scrimmage, makes a nice stop. See a lot of guys in there. Huge play there by Harris, by Elijah Harris. Does a great job. I mean, a big hit. You can see it coming in there and makes a nice hit on the play. And then Farrell comes up with the fumble recovery. Nice play action pass as we get it. The play action pass goes out there to Damian Byrd, gets it down inside the 5, and then, of course, those big linemen up front do a really nice job of getting Courtney into the end zone.
It looks like your first teamers are still out there, doesn't it?
Exactly right. See some guys inside there doing a really good job. Really proud of those seniors coming in. Raphael Williams, a junior outside linebacker, with a nice play in there. There's Farrell in there. Isaac Ledbetter, senior linebacker, come off of a tough ankle injury and is getting out there and making some nice plays. Run the counter play. Farrell does a good job. There's D.D. Old Davis there. Got a senior linebacker doing a nice job. D'Angelo Davis, the big stop. Got a junior corner there. And Devin Crittenden comes up, makes a nice play at the corner position, breaking on the ball. I know Coach Trujillo coaches those corners. He'd be really proud of the play out of Devin there.
He's giving you some good depth at other times, too.
He really has. Guys in there battling, doing a good job. Palmer Watkins with a nice play from that outside linebacker position, making a good stop on the play.
You guys really were hitting on that Friday night, too.
Those guys, it was the weather was good, the stadium was good. We had a lot of fun with it. You see Ledbetter in there. You got D.D. in there doing a good job. Defensively, those guys playing really well. Come back with a little boot pass to the outside. Jared Nichols been playing really well in JV and gets a chance to play on the Friday night and does a nice job with it. Big guys up front blocking really well. You get to see those guys. Guyona in there, a junior offensive lineman, doing a good job. Got a sophomore in there, and Mario Rowland, offensive tackle, number 50 there with a big push inside, doing a really good job, and proud of those guys and how they continue to block. Juan Ramirez at the offensive center. You notice we didn't have any exchange issues. Got another center in there doing a nice job. Throw the bubble pass to pick up a first down there, and just kind of run the zone, trying to get the clock to milk down. And I really was proud of how our guys executed as we finished up the game.
And as I'm taking a look there, I'm not sure that Adonis Martin had an incompletion. Now, he's in late in the game.
4 for 4.
Yeah, he
did a really nice job.
And not only that, he throws it with a little zip. He can spin it out of there.
I think we threw it 4 times in the second half, and he completed all of them.
Yeah, and you know, obviously, with a score like this, you don't want to throw it a lot, but you have to run to your game plan, and you have to get guys ready just in case.
Sure, and you got a guy like Damian Byrd who does a great job for us at receiver, and you're thinking, hey, can we get a slant pass to this guy? You know, we want to reward some of those guys, and you want to see guys execute, because guys like Damian, guys like Adonis, they need to operate our offense because you never know when they might be in.
It's time. The second season is here. When we come back, we'll take a look at the 6A 1-2, 1-2, 2-2, 1. Anyway, it's the 6A. Part of 6A playoffs. The brackets are coming up next with the New Football Coaches Show.
Frontier Valley Conference. 10 schools. Broken Arrow, Bartlesville, Bixby, Bishop Kelly, Jinx, Muskogee, Owasso, Sand Springs, Sapulpa, Union. .22 sports, 509 state titles. Numbers don't lie. Frontier Valley Conference. Strength. In numbers.
It's the Union Football Coaches Show, along with the Redskins head coach Kirk Frederick. I'm Rick Corey, and it's time for us to take a look at the brackets. That's right, 6A playoffs are here. It's that second season. You want to be practicing on Thanksgiving. Here's where you start, right, Coach?
It's an exciting time of year. You look at the bracket. It's interesting as he pops that up there. I start to think there's ties to Union really all over this bracket. There's some former Union guys at Broken Arrow. The Putnam City head coach and a couple of assistant coaches are from Union. Norman North's got some of them. So it's kind of field all across there. But I would, if we look at the right side there with Edmond, Santa Fe, Southmore, that's probably one maybe people don't know a whole lot about. But we did play Southmore, and just a reminder, that team played Southmore about as close as anyone. Edmond, Santa Fe, Southmore was at 34-31 with Edmond, Santa Fe driving at the end of the game. So that ought to be a cool rematch to see. Mustang Broken Arrow last year. Mustang knocked Broken Arrow out of the playoffs in the first round last year, so definitely kind of almost a rematch of what happened last year. Broken Arrow's playing some really good football. Norman North Jinx, of course, we know what Norman North is, some big guys up front. Of course, everyone knows what Jinx is, and definitely the title goes through those guys. So, but I still think that it'll be interesting to see how one district matches up with another district. It's always fun to say, hey, we had the toughest district. How does this match up versus you guys? And then, of course, the one we all want to pay attention to is our first round with Putnam City, the Pirates. And I think the last time they were in the playoffs, we actually played them, which was 8 years ago at home. And so it's exciting to have the Putnam City Pirates back. And, of course, the personal ties with Coach Pearson, who was one of our coaches with us for 8 years, is now over there and does a great job. Pulls up a big upset last week versus Westmore.
They're a traditional power. They go all the way back to when Kelly Phelps played there, who went on to the University of Oklahoma. I played against him in the playoffs.
Argent.
Yeah, I played there against him in the playoffs from Nathan Hale a long, long time ago. When you look at their football team, what do they do well?
Well, it's funny because just last night my wife says, well, what's Putnam City do? And I said, well, they do what Union does. You know, that Coach Pearson was an offense coordinator with us, and a very similar scheme. They have a quarterback that's really outstanding. They're throwing the ball about 70% of the time, 78% of the time, and have two really good wide receivers. And then they'll pressure you on defense. Their special teams does a nice job. Kyle Hale was on our staff, played special teams at Oklahoma State, and I think he's their special teams coordinator. So special teams has really done really well for them. They've done some good things in that unit. Offensively, throwing the ball, getting the ball to their playmakers, and then defensively, a lot of pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see the type of a game plan that maybe a Moore and Mustang, those guys that came out and they're going to make it tough on us to run the ball. We'll have to be able to throw the ball some to have an opportunity to put some points on the board.
You know, coaches always talk about at this time of the year, you're really working as much on yourself as anybody else, but do you kind of throw in the thought process of specials and things like that? Because if somebody's going to try to pull a one-time thing, this is the time, right?
Oh, it is. I mean, this is the playoffs. You don't hold anything back. Playbook's wide open. Everything that you can think of that maybe you've been working on for 3 or 4 weeks, it's going to be right there. And the other thing that people ought to think about is this is the last home game. This is the last game for this outstanding senior class to play at Union Tuttle.
You need to be there Friday night. We'll see you there, then we'll see you back here next week on the Union Football Coaches Show.